future, shattered dreams, end of times ain't what it seems.
Hello friends, this is Sam Chaney reporting for Weaponized News. Today's May 28th, 2026. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday edition of Weaponized News. We have Ruckus riding shotgun with us today to go over all of this insanity for you. What do we got? We got the White House trolling about aliens, illegal aliens, aliens.gov. So they're doing a double entendre of psyops against us here now. Take a look at that. Take a look at where we're at. Iran war day number 90 here. Day number 90. And we're essentially still in a Persian standoff. We'll go over the latest and greatest details. There's a secret war going on in South America as we continue to report here now. More details are coming out about why we have to fight this secret war, because the DEA went in there and set up drug dealers. Now we got to go fight those same drug dealers. See how this works? Because they care about the youth of America. We got economic news, more geopolitical news. The leveling of Gaza continues. The leveling of southern Lebanon continues. We have those reports. We have more Epstein news, as per usual, today for you. We're going to take a look at scaled hypersonic missiles. Department of War is asking for your help. Uncle Sam needs you to help build scaled hypersonic missiles, because the Russians reportedly, allegedly, have them and we don't. And so that's the big issue right now. Who can blow each other up faster and mo better? We're going to take a look at all that and much more on this Thursday edition of Weaponized News. Some people are coming online. Welcome to those coming online right now. Let me get through this day in history. We'll bring on Ruckus and get to all this insanity. Oh, Trump openly mocking us with the Trump $250 bill. That's about the actual rate of inflation since Trump's been in office. Cranking up that national debt, deficit spending, and debasing our currency. Go MAGA. Don't be a panicking. Love the devaluation of your currency, or you're not a good... Hey, maybe they'll probably start saying, hey, I don't like inflation. You're a damn terrorist. That's where we're heading. My dollar doesn't buy what it used to. Well, it doesn't buy jack now, you damn terrorist. Let's get to this day in history. On this day in history, there was some noticing going on. February 28th, or excuse me, May 28th. I got to get the right date here. May 28th, on this day, we go back to the year 1349, the Black Death Massacre. 60 aardvarks were murdered in Sisai as part of a pogrom across Western Europe. So they were noticing something's not quite right with these aardvarks way back then. The Black Death, 1349. And then the woman's rights, and this is and then we see it all comes full circle here. And on this day in 1431, Joan of Arc is accused of relapsing into heresy for donning male clothing again, providing justification for her execution. And we're going to see later on this day in history, it came full circle here in America. On this day in 1731, there was some noticing going on at the Vatican. When you know, all Hebrew books in the Vatican papal states are confiscated on this day, 1731. On this day in 1754, we saw the Battle of Jumonville Glen, where General George Washington's forces led by George Washington, kill French-Canadian officer Joseph Colin de Jumonville. It's in France. I have a hard time with my French pronunciations, excuse me. But yeah, General George Washington killed that damn French-Canadian on this day, let me tell you. 18 and 30 on this day in history. In that year, we saw then President Andrew Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act, a key law leading to the forced removal of the Cherokee, Chickasaw, Contwa, Creek, and Seminole tribes out of Georgia and the surrounding states, setting the stage for the Cherokee Trail of Tears. 1892, on this day, the Sierra Club was founded by John Muir and others in San Francisco, a conservation of nature club. And I do believe the original intent was pretty good, but then it went on to become hijacked by these radicals that don't even care about the environment. It's all about a racket, the green racket. And then coming full circle here now with women's rights in America. On this day in 1923, U.S. Attorney General says it is legal for women to wear trousers anywhere. Wouldn't Joan of Arc like to be around in America for that announcement by the Attorney General? On this day in 1929, we saw the first color talk picture on with the show. It was exhibited in New York. 1936, on this day, Alan Turing submits a computable numbers for publication in which he sets out the theoretical basis for modern computers. On this day in 1942, we saw over 1,800 Czechs murdered by Nazi forces following an assassination attempt on Nazi leader Heinrich in Prague. You don't see Czechs crying about it all day, do you? Just saying. Pretty bad massacre there of the Czechs by the Nazis. 1948, on this day, we saw the Aardvark Air Force is officially founded shortly after the start of the 1948 Arab Aardvark War. 1956, on this day, then President Dwight Eisenhower signs the Agriculture Act of 1956, allowing government to store post-war agricultural surpluses. 1961, on this day, Amnesty International is founded by British lawyer Peter Benenson, along with British Quaker peace activist Eric Baker and Irish politician Sean McBride in London. Also on this day in 1961, we saw the final trip from Paris to Bucharest on the Orient Express, ending service after 78 years. And if you haven't seen Murder on the Orient Express, the old one, it's pretty good. Pretty good stuff there. Pretty good mystery. Anyhow, on this day in 1984, fittingly enough, George Soros founds the Soros Foundation in Budapest to help countries free themselves from communism. See, George Soros looking out for everybody. 1996, on this day, we saw the Whitewater scandal. Then U.S. President Bill Clinton's former business partners in the Whitewater land deal, James McDougal, Susan McDougal, and Arkansas Governor Jim Guy Tucker are convicted of fraud. But somehow Bill Clinton walked away clean on that deal. And look how far we've come, edging up to full-on war with Russia. Russia's still all pissed off. But on this day in 2002, NATO declares Russia a limited partner in Western alliance. Now we're like, Russia's all pissed off, man. So not good at NATO and America. On this day in 2019, Johnson & Johnson go on trial in Oklahoma accused of deceptively marketing painkillers and downplaying risks of addiction, helping create the opioid epidemic. It was the first of 2,000 cases filed against the U.S. pharmaceutical firm. And Trump brings the CEO up on stage, says they're the greatest thing ever. So there you go. There you go. And on this day, and we have tariff news too today, but on this day 1 year ago, Trump declared Liberation Day for America. Liberation Day tariffs ruled illegal. Oh, man. And then finally, we need a funny one on this day in history. Today, the EU imposes a 200 million euro fine on online retailer Temu for allowing the sale of dangerous and illegal products. Here in America, we have a Temu president essentially here now with Trump. Fake and gay. Okay. On this day in our civil liberties history, they were going after the women's. And so women, you should hate government just as much as the men, because on this day, in 1969, FBI informant, women's rights activists feel U.S. is oppressive society. An FBI informant who attended a women's liberation movement meeting in New York City reported on this day that most of the women attending the meeting had as their goal liberating women from oppressive society. According to U.S. Senate Church Committee investigations, informants were the primary source of information about the women's liberation movement. As with so much FBI spying on political grounds, there was no information regarding discussion or plans of any criminal action in violation of federal law, which would have been the only valid pretext for an FBI investigation. Try to organize against the crime syndicate known as the government. They're going to send in their informants, right? And that's the way it goes here now in freedom land of America. And here's our segue. J.D. Vance delivers his commencement speech to the U.S. Air Force Academy, and he addresses artificial intelligence transforming the battlefield. And then we'll segue and bring on Ruckus for the rest of the news here.
You know, this is the only commencement speech that I'm giving this year, and so I've watched a few highlights of graduation speeches where this or that corporate leader will discuss artificial intelligence, AI, and be met with literal boos. Now, you can't boo me, I'm the Vice President of the United States. But your fellow Americans are understandably, they're worried about AI, about how it will affect the labor market, how it will distribute resources, and how it has fundamentally changed how we interact with one another, our social lives. But the thing I worry about most with AI is how it will change warfare. Now, Pope Leo XIV, in a recent document, encouraged us as human beings not to outsource the most important moral decisions to digital technology. And I want to endorse that sentiment and make it more specific to each and every one of you. AI will inevitably change warfare. And of course, as you've learned over the last 4 years, it already has. But one of the things that makes Americans unique, that makes you as warfighters unique, is that we wage war justly.
How you doing this Thursday, Ruckus?
Well, Not gonna lie, I got a headache, and that did not help. Mr. T2 Terminator there. It's funny how he said the truth there. You can't boo me because I'm the vice president. Well, I can boo him, even though he is the vice president. Boo! Why did he say that specifically to that crowd of people? Oh, that's right, because they're military people. And
They
he's
work for
right.
the feds. Yeah,
They can't boo the vice president. Well, I suppose they could, but then they're going to be probably promptly
sanctioned,
quickly
and
removed.
maybe be droned as well.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. Yeah, so yeah, you get yes sir, no sir, that kind of thing going on there, and he's loving it. Did he serve in the military? Pretty sure not, but maybe I'm wrong. But I
No,
think
he did. He
not.
did.
Oh,
He
did
did
he?
serve in.
Oh,
Yes, he did.
well,
Allegedly.
there you go.
Allegedly,
I
he
wasn't
did.
there, so I can't prove it for myself. But this
They
AI,
say he did.
I've seen a lot of these clips going around of a lot of different people talking about anytime they mention the AI, as he pointed out, the crowds are jeering. And I mean, these aren't boomers in the audiences. These are young kids. These are people, these are the young adults who are having like a very, very early existential crisis moment already. Just as they were coming out of the cocoon, they see the hungry critter ready to just pounce on them and rip them to shreds, and they're like, well, what's the effing point, right? So to have one of these high-paid billionaire types, or even a politician, yes, even the vice president, Mr. JD Reaper Vance, to talk about AI and be like, yeah, oh, it's okay, I understand that you're upset, we understand that you're worried. I think it sounds a little tone deaf to these people, because it seems like it's going to be impacting them far more than it's going to be impacting these windbags. Yes?
He said we fight just wars. None of these wars are just. Like, what is this dude even talking about? These are illegal foreign wars of aggression according to our own constitution. And they can
No, that's not what he meant, Sam. He didn't mean just wars. He means just wars. That's all we do. That's all we do here. We just do wars.
Maybe I took it out of context there. But according to our constitution, the lawyers play their semantical games. That's all bullshit. These are illegal foreign wars of aggression. But some good news here now. Peter Thiel's destroyed America, so now he's reportedly relocating part of his life to Argentina. They're buying property in Buenos Aires and meeting frequently with self-proclaimed the biggest Zionist president in the world, Javier Milei. So wowzers. And by the way, Peter Thiel is the money behind JD Vance, for those that didn't know.
Isn't that ironic?
So destroy America with all of your scams, schemes, manipulation, and weirdness, and then flee to another country.
Not financial or travel advice, people, but if you're looking for a safe place to keep your head during the pending apocalypse, there are signs.
There are signs. The most evil man in the world, and we hate Putin, YouTube. He said Russian Federation is perhaps one of the few countries capable of creating and already creating its own sovereign artificial intelligence platforms. Everybody's pointing the finger at freaking China. What about Russia? The freaking dirty Russians are building out the freaking AI here. We got to beat the Russians, Ruckus.
We did this with the nuclear bomb too, didn't we? We were like, well, we got to make a mad dash to create this thing that could potentially wipe off all life on the planet. But yeah, we got to do it before somebody else does. Like, what the hell? I still can't wrap my head around this one. But so maybe similar to the nukes thing. They've weaponized the AI because they've weaponized everything, but it's maybe not necessarily be the physical thing as the weapon. It's just the threat of the thing as a weapon. And in that case, it's like ultimately, well, how do you defend yourself from another country's AI? You're like, or we're going to shoot some more AI back at them. None of this makes any sense.
You get Thiel, Musk, and the NVIDIA dude and a couple other $1 kajillion, and then, yeah, they're keeping it safe, bro.
Right. So I mean, but yeah, but every which way you look at this, logically thinking of this as a traditional weapon and trying to beat our competitors and this and that, it doesn't make any sense. However, what does make sense is if they are building this, and each individual country doing this in lockstep, almost seemingly so, building this full top-down surveillance technocracy grid that they're ready to just like, boop, that was it. Yo, here you go. Yeah, where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do? You didn't want the 15-minute city? Well, too bad. You got one now. You don't like it? There's another option for you. Bang, bang. Yeah, you like the bang, bang?
A big Wired magazine article came out yesterday saying that the feds are now putting you on a terror list if you protest against having your land taken by eminent domain to build out data centers.
I've been waiting for that shoe to drop, and there it went. So, yep, there's not many shoes left in my closet falling off the shelf, Sam, unfortunately. I'll be joining Peter Thiel before you know it.
You don't want to go to Argentina unless you're of aardvark persuasion. Trust me, bro.
Isn't there a guy there with a mustache in his family and friends?
They're all working together.
Oh, wait, no, never mind. They relocated to the dark side of the moon, which is we're building a base on the moon. Oddly enough,
we may be able to seek refuge there. That's a great segue to the White House trolling aliens.gov. Here's a video they posted.
used it with the YMCA music too. Oh boy, this is you thought that the UFO people were probably like aliens. What's this? And they were like, oh wait a minute, not those kind of aliens. Yeah, that's a funny troll move. Way to go, Trump.
Whitehouse.gov/aliens. Here's what they posted about an hour before we came on. Here, they walk among us. They walk among us, Ruckus, and it's not space aliens, extraterrestrials. It's illegal aliens. And you read through all this. For 60 years, the U.S. government has kept a closely guarded secret. Aliens have been walking among us, living in our neighborhoods, and interacting with us in our daily lives. They've shopped in the same stores, attended the same classes as our children, and lived seemingly normal human existences. With one exception, they do not belong here. Millions arrived under the cover of darkness and embedded themselves directly into our society. Countless presidents, congressmen, and senior officials knew exactly what was happening. Instead of protecting American citizens, they chose to cover it up and even accelerate the invasion until one man finally had the courage to tell the truth. Bold, unapologetic, unafraid. President Trump was the first to call out the real danger aliens pose to the American family, every community, and the future of our nation. The truth is no longer out there. It is right here, right now. Top secret. Alien encounters. And again, they're not talking about space aliens. They're talking about illegal aliens. And the clock's ticking here, over 3 million alien encounters. And here's a map of the arrests of the illegal aliens. Oh, man.
Wild. Interesting choice of aesthetic too. They went with the like that 90s X-Files kind of feel, almost a Matrix look too, which was interesting. But yeah,
and kind of a Star Wars look with the scroll, you know what I mean, at the beginning too.
Perhaps
they fused it all together.
Yeah, what does stand out about this is that they did choose to use the domain name aliens, so we know that if and when they're going to do the other type of aliens, the gray aliens, the fake and gay space guys, the grays, Sorry. Anyways, they'll have to call them. It won't be even extraterrestrials. See, they've switched to the official new terminology. So it's funny that they did this UFO files thing because it's really technically UAPs now, the unidentified aerial phenomenon. And as far as these other things are concerned, what we call aliens, like space aliens, they're non-biological entities, if I'm not mistaken. That's the official term. NBEs. Yeah.
They're muddying the water on everything here intentionally, Ruckus. Look at this.
Right. If you jump out in the middle of the night and run up and down the street and say, the aliens are coming, are people going to be like, oh, which ones, dude? You know?
They weren't little green men. These, quote, aliens are the millions of illegals who invaded our country under the cover of darkness. And we're not getting mass deportations, and no one in the government responsible for this has gotten in any trouble whatsoever. So there you go.
They've also they dehumanized them too, because they said living otherwise normal human existences, implying that they're not human, which is probably a no-no, but hey, whatever.
It's they're reaching here, playing games, running psyops, reaching. They're desperate.
Where do they learn all this stuff from? It's almost like they're, whoa, maybe we finally get something back from our greatest ally in a certain region of the world. Maybe they taught us a few tricks. We seem to be executing a lot of the similar tricks that they've been perfecting over the past few, say, decade or two, yeah?
Here's Scott Bassett. Today they rolled out the Treasury, man. This guy's, what a joker this guy is. He says, we talk about Orwellian doublespeak. He said, we did not have regime change, but we changed the regime on day 90. Here, let me play you this clip. Khomeini's still in charge. The mullahs are still in charge. They whacked like 50 plus of the top dudes. The next guy's next man up, and now they're in those positions. And by the majority of reports out there, even more radicalized and steadfast in their beliefs of the great Satan and little Satan, Merca and Aardvark land. Here's double talking Scott Bassett here, U.S. Treasury Secretary.
With the Iranian government, we did not have regime change, but we changed the regime. As President Trump said at the cabinet meeting, as we've said other times, the first layer of leadership was eliminated, the second layer, and we're now at the third layer.
That's a guy in charge of the U.S. Treasury, Ruckus.
Yeah, I know, and it doesn't help. He has some sort of allegedly official speech impediment thing going. Some people don't even know that, by the way. They'll listen to him talk, but the more you listen to him talk, you start to catch on. But yeah, he officially has problems speaking. So it's very, I wouldn't take anything he says that seriously, especially when he makes like this weird gaffe like that, where he'll say what he just said there. I'm like, which is it? Either we did regime change. We didn't do regime change, but we changed the regime. Okay, right on. But these are supposed to be like you're supposed to have some sort of skill to properly communicate what you're saying if you're in the administration.
If you're a public speaker, yeah.
Not at all. Okay, I mean, I do watch the things that come out of Trump's mouth sometimes, and I wonder these days. But yeah, but in general, I mean, that's the way it used to be until recently, at least.
Ruckus, this comes from yesterday Trump cabinet meeting. He gave it all away. Not many people caught this, I don't believe. But he says central casting, talking about Pete Hegseth, he likes war. So let's play that clip again. He tells you this is they're all fake and gay. They're all actors. This is bullshit, and real people are dying is the problem here with all this theater.
Blanche is doing fantastically, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, another one. I mean, we have great people. And the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, central casting, he loves war. I don't know, I guess. He's a good man.
The other shoe I'm waiting to drop is that I just wake up and this is a terrible dream. It's not, is it? He's Trump, especially flanked by those two guys. He looks tired, old, hunched over. I think Hegseth was trying to like do some sort of body language to try to make Trump not look so tired and haggard, but he's looking tired and haggard there, Sam. But that was a healthy slap that he gave Pete Hegseth. I'm not going to lie. That I felt that one, that little, that was a good one.
Central casting. They tell you.
War theater, man.
So where are we at on day 90 of the, there was reports, I believe the initial one was out of Al Jazeera and Axios on our side, so propaganda on both sides, saying there was a MOU that's coming down, but turns out not so much. They're still shooting at each other there. So Iran says no agreement reached with U.S., dismisses Western reports. And then we kind of halfway said, yeah, there's a deal, but not so much. Kazim news agency cited a source close to Iran's negotiation team, reported earlier today that contrary to claims by some Western media sources, the draft memorandum of understanding between Iran and the United States has not been finalized and remains under discussion. The source said Iran has not informed the Pakistani mediator that a final text had been agreed upon, rejecting reports suggesting the deal is complete and awaiting announcement from the two sides. The source added that if an agreement is ultimately finalized, Iran will formally notify both the Pakistani moderator and the Iranian public. Until then, any Western claims that the negotiations have been concluded should be considered inaccurate.
Well, there you go. It's a ping pong game, back and forth, right?
Iranian Air Force intercepted U.S. drone near Bishar, Tassam News reported earlier today. Iranian Air Force air defenses fire on hostile aircraft over Persian Gulf as reports emerge of missile launches from southern Iran. Fars news agency reported that Iranian integrated air defense units stationed near Jam and Banar Kagan in the Bashar province fired at a hostile aircraft over the waters of the Persian Gulf earlier today. Search operations are reportedly ongoing to locate the aircraft's wreckage. And it goes on with more detailing about this incident. They're still shooting at each other. We're in a ceasefire, though, Ruckus, so we probably have nothing to worry about.
Well, I mean, the more this goes on, just think of all the movies they can make based off of it. I don't know how busy Michael Bay is. I mean, he just wrapped one up, I know.
Oh, my gosh. Aardvark officials are privately urging the Trump administration to abandon negotiations with Iran, assassinate Iran's parliamentary speaker and lead negotiator, Ghalibaf. We've put up that guy's comments a few times here now, and launch a new round of strikes targeting Iran's oil infrastructure, according to classified intelligence assessments cited by Capital and Empire. And so about the same routine. Hey, we're going to negotiate, bro. And then Iran goes over there. Yeah, where you guys at? Boom, you're freaking whacked, right? And so this is a recurring pattern and theme that we're seeing out of ceasefire negotiations.
Yeah, it's an endless cycle stuck on repeat. It's really, well, I mean, the wheels are going to fall off of this cart, right? I mean, eventually.
You can't keep saying, bro, I want peace, come negotiate, and you walk up there and they shoot you in the face. Like, come on, dude.
All right. Well, okay.
Like, listen, sooner or later, the other dude's going to come up and just shoot you in the face. You know what I mean? Like,
they should at this point, because, like, seriously, no matter what, the longer this goes on, with like some sort of false hope expectation that, oh, we're going to reach an agreement here and everything's going to go back to quote unquote normal. First of all, it's not going back to normal. We're already well past that point. This is a tsunami effect kind of thing. The damage has already been done. It's just, unfortunately, the longer we keep doing this, it's going to be next to impossible to ever come out of it. It would be better to just rip the Band-Aid off, you know what I mean, and figure out with a new solution to start healing. You know what I'm saying? So shoot, if they're just going to do the thing, do the damn thing already. You know, either side, both sides, do the damn thing all at once, because this is getting ridiculous and it's dragging it out. And y'all are making a shit ton of money on the betting, on the poly markets, on the trading the stocks. It's completely rigged. And that's the main reason you're doing it. There's no sincerity for any type of peace. This has nothing to do with a ceasefire. This has to do with you making a crap ton of money and knock it off. Anyway, sorry.
That's a great segue, Ruckus. It's almost like we produced this show ahead of time or something. We didn't.
I don't know how we do this.
This is all crazy. On the fly because Ruckus knows the flow of the show here, apparently. That's a great segue to Jeremy Scahill reporting out of Dropside. He says, I spoke with Iranian officials and they tell me that from Iran's perspective, there is a final draft of a MOU with the United States, but Iran has zero trust in Trump or the U.S. word and can't rule out chance of more U.S. aardvark land strikes. Therefore, Iran is proceeding cautiously on any official agreement. Some voices on the Iranian side are concerned that President Trump may reconsider his position at the last moment. Trump needs to cultivate the image of a victor in the war. He also added, we cannot regard President Trump's decision as definitively finalized until the financial markets close at the end of the week.
They know what's up.
Exactly what you said. Right
everyone knows what's up. I mean, everybody knows. They should just come out and say it and be like, look, sorry, just give us, we need to do this 5 more times, guys, and we're good.
Michael Yon, war correspondent, dude runs all around the world, reporting from war zones. He put out a report, says Zionists, through their cuck Trump intent is to keep Hormuz closed. He says their intent is to permanently keep the Strait of Hormuz closed. So,
the Zionists, that's what the Zionists want. I shudder to think. Well, what role does that play into their line of thinking? Why would they care? By definition, what's a Zionist? And you'd go down that rabbit hole, and you're like, wait a minute. So ultimately, what they're trying to do is they want this to start the ultimate holy Armageddon, World War III, all the stuff. They want to kick the hornet's nest so hard, hopefully have some sort of retaliation or probably a false flag attack on the Dome of the Rock there kind of thing, you know, and then bam, we got the third temple and we got this and we got that. And oh, look, we got terror cells busting up everything in America, right? Sure. Yeah, no, this is what they want. This is why they want this shit to keep going on. This makes perfect sense now.
This was posted in his article. And yeah, you're not driving through there, man. You're not driving through there unless you got the okay or you're getting shot. See right here? Mm-hmm.
Hey, at least the good news is it's a problem reaction solution, and they already have the solution. So, you know, I may have mentioned it on this show or another one already, but like, do you really think they're going to let everybody like in the great country of America under good old Daddy Trump or whoever just let everybody fall apart and die freezing to death and starving? No, they'll have the solution for you. They'll be like, well, the old school energy system is broken, but don't worry, we got everything figured out with the electric stuff now. We got the cars, and you can do this 15-minute city, and we're just going to make it. We're barely going to make it. We're all in this together. We all do the things. We do their new version of standing 6 feet apart or wearing a mask and possibly even taking some sort of pharmaceutical or probably a brain chip.
The brain chip.
Yeah, that's the next thing. But you see what I'm saying, right? So, but I think that they won't just let everybody crash and burn. But the solutions that they'll offer your big daddy government is your prison. You'll be like, and you'll willingly accept it with open arms. Not you necessarily out there, but maybe you, maybe me. Who the heck knows? You never really know these things until you're faced with those situations. Your results may vary, especially based on how many kids you have. You know what I'm saying?
Michael Elm posted this screenshot, a reminder for everybody about our good friends over there. Netanyahu keeps syringe from his bat miracle on display in his office. If you can remember back to the bat times, that's a screenshot out of Haaretz. So
He hasn't turned that into solid gold and given it as a gift to Trump yet.
he may have. He may have. This was old. This is an old story, so he may have by now. Man, our military personnel are they're getting exposed, and it's not good. Exclusive out of Reuters, Pentagon says U.S. military personnel are reportedly being targeted using location data. And so it works both ways for all the spying. In a letter shared with Reuters by U.S. Senator Ron Wyden out of Oregon, Democrat, U.S. Central Command said it had received multiple threat reports concerning adversary exploitation of commercial location data to target or surveil U.S. personnel in the war theater. Not good. So it works both ways with all the spying on everything. The bad guys on the other side, they're spying too, bro.
This sounds like some more open source intelligence kind of stuff to me.
No, it is open source intelligence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what's the nefarious? Oh, well, yeah. Speaking of shoes to drop, they certainly would love to cut off the general public from having too much information about too many things. Yeah, for just a
they're trying to cut off satellite images,
Yep.
cut off ship tracking images, cut off airplane tracking, all of this stuff. Because you have too much, you have just as much access to this data.
We the government and the media mouthpieces will tell you what's going on. You believe what we say. If we say XYZ happened years and you have no way to confirm that for yourself, then I guess you have no choice but to believe us. That sort of thing. But just as a quick example, I saw some goofball. It could be something there, but it's totally possible now. You can vibe code is what it's called. You can talk to an AI chatbot and have it build websites and apps and things for you, and like whatever your imagination, whatever, right? So whatever. But yeah, somebody had created basically a free open source version of a Palantir Foundry, one of these big data like information, and it just took all of the world's open source information and plugged it into a dashboard, which is technically all Palantir really did, except they have the source to all that stuff that the NSA has their hands on inside those big data centers. Isn't that interesting? Because your chat LLM in your dashboard is only as good as the data that you have, and they've got all the data. They have all of your chat history, your texts, your phone calls, your photos that you've saved on your devices, everything that you said in front of all your friends and family in front of their listening devices or their smart meters on their homes or their refrigerators or their coffee pots, or what you said in the line at the supermarket. You get the idea. So, but at least without all that stuff, it is possible to build one of these open source information thing. And I think that could be dangerous, especially if you wanted to say, I don't know, do some sort of follow-up journalism. Like, it's very dangerous that we have access, in my opinion, because I'm defending the government here. It's very dangerous that we, the people, have access to the internet's archive. I think we should have access to real-time information, absorb it, and if we don't learn it the first time or copy it down and save it, it's gone, poof. But they get to keep it because they're the stewards, they're the gatekeepers. We just can't be entrusted with that information. Of course, because, we might want to do something anti-Semitic or anti-government, like bring up some event from the past and offer it as existence or proof that something happened, which might make the government look bad, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're all going to just rip all of this away from us, Sam, is what I'm saying. I think ultimately the AI too, it's gone.
That's a good segue to this story from yesterday. U.S. law enforcement warns of anti-tech extremism as AI hatred grows. And they go through here and talk about, they got leaked 1,000 pages of unpublished reports from the Department of Homeland Security and FBI infusion centers, taking a hard look at anybody questioning what they're doing here with their transhumanist technocracy agenda.
That's why I would never question that. I never have, and I never will. I just let it happen. I wouldn't question it.
Good. You're one of the good guys. I got this headline here for
But
for you.
to that point, real quick, because it is a dangerous talking point I'm seeing. I mean, but what else can you do? I mean, it's only human to be like, well, you're like, well, we voted for officials to stand up for our rights and do what we asked them to do, and then they don't do it in the name of building these data centers and the big technocracy and everything like that. And the billionaires have complete control over everything. We know what happened with the Friends of Jeffrey network and the files and all that stuff, or at least what we know or can infer from all the black bars. And this is not a good thing that we're seeing the YouTubers suggest, well, what can we do? Technically, the only thing you can do is the thing that you shouldn't say that you could do or should do, but you have no other choice. What else can you do? And they a lot of them are actually coming out and saying it. Like they're saying, I wouldn't do this, and I'm not saying that you could do this. I mean, everybody going from shout out to Snow Himbo, perfect example. He may have said, go do, there's only one thing you can do, you know, and we know what that thing is. But Corbett, James Corbett himself is also more than implied what needs to be done. And it's just like, well, if we could come up with that idea, don't you think of course they've come up with that idea. So that's why I was saying I've been waiting for that shoe to drop. But the problem is that that's another one of these little wedges that they can get in to take down people, content creators, and free speech. Because now you're a sideways note to this is all related is they subpoenaed, what is this guy's name? Hassan Piker. You know who that is? He's like a Twitch streamer guy. He's on the left, but
he's a provocateur, yeah.
Yeah. But him and then this really nice lady from Code Pink, they subpoenaed these people because of their involvement.
Mia Benjamin. Yeah.
Well, yes, what they did is they went to Cuba to try to bring some aid and all that stuff. So now Trump is trying, you know, the Trump admin and all of them, they want these people to be treated as terrorists. You're actually aiding and abetting the enemy. So let's say you're a YouTube creator, like our friend Snow Himbo, who I shouted out in the chat. And what if they think what Snow Himbo said on his stream about, oh, there's only one thing we can do, people, in name of the data centers. And then anybody, anywhere, it doesn't even matter if they know you, they saw that video or whatever, does something to a data center, they could say, oh, you're complicit in that because you're one of those people that put that out there in the atmosphere. Now you're complicit. Now you're a terrorist. Now you've committed a crime, but it's not that you committed a crime now, presently, or in the future. You've already committed the crime in the past. And that's another shoe I'm waiting to drop, is they're going to start rounding up people and holding them accountable for things that they said yesterday, last week, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, in high school, kindergarten. You better have drawn the right pictures when you were in preschool, Sam, or you're going to jail, my friend.
But they've already done that in the cancel culture. One case comes to mind, NFL quarterback out of Buffalo, Josh Allen. And why it comes to mind is he went to high school close where I live. Anyway, they went back to, he was like 14 years old, 13 years old in junior high. And they found a video of him saying the N-word, singing a rap song. And they said, look, this guy's a racist piece of garbage. And it's like, no, it's a kid singing a rap song. And they're like, he needs to be canceled over this. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, you can see how they can twist it any which way.
Makes sense to me, man.
Well,
until it happens to me, then I'll be like, oh, this isn't fair.
Well, the FBI said in replying to Wired Magazine, they said the FBI investigates individuals who commit or intend to commit violence and criminal activities that constitutes a federal crime or poses a threat to national security. So there you go. It's open-ended. They can literally say, that rock on the ground there, we were going to use it in some space experiment. You kicked it, you violated national security. They can literally make up anything.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to be taken from those AI LLM chats you've been having with your Grok. You know, can you just imagine the psychological profiles they have been able to flesh out on people based on their interactions with their little AIs? Holy moly! Anyway,
Onto a good headline here because it had ruckus in it. Springsteen taunts White House and DC concert and promises more pre-election ruckus. That Bruce Springsteen trolling Trump.
right on. Bruce Springsteen. Sorry, with all due respect, sir, because I know you're the boss. Get my name out of your mother effing mouth, dude. You're a piece of crap, what you did during the miracle time. Anyway.
Oh, man. Ridiculousness. Okay. Hey, the anti-weaponization slush fund is not going, you're not getting that money here in California. By the way, Trump set up J6ers. That's confirmed through Peter Duke, who was there as a photographer. And I was like, Trump set up J6ers? He's like, yep. So there you go. But you're not getting that slush fund money. And I don't think the J6ers, who actually probably do deserve some reparations for government abuse, I don't think they're going to get jack. But here in California, they're going to make extra double sure you're not getting jack. California will impose 100% tax on payments distributed to Trump's J6 slush fund. Let's watch Galvin Newsom make that announcement.
One thing that I think we're going to try to do with your support is tax 100%. Anyone from California that receives any of those funds, we want to tax 100% of those proceeds. And that's an action the state of California can take. It's an action we look forward to taking.
That's insane. 100%. So how much of the money are they going to take? Oh, all of it?
Pick your side, left or right. The government's effing you over.
What does he mean they have the right to do that? Do they have the right to do that with anything at any time?
They passed a law, yeah. Well, they can pass laws, yeah, all day.
Awesome.
And they do. I'm sure it'll probably be, or maybe challenged in court. Who knows? You got a bunch of money to pay a bunch of lawyers to go challenge the government. You know what I mean? Then they know that, right? So that's why they are able to get away with much of this tyranny.
And that guy stands a very real chance of possibly being next president because of what the current one has been doing. That's awesome. Great. I have another reason to dislike Trump. Yay.
I'm warning you right now. I lived under Newsom tyranny here now for his whole 8 years now. It's going to be 2 terms as a California governor, and it ain't no joke that this guy's a complete tyrant, maniac, criminal, on par with Trump. Just acts like he's on the left wing of the bird of tyranny, but at the end of the day, it don't make a difference. It's a crime syndicate looking to put tyranny on us. So,
and they both kind of look like gangsters too, don't they?
He
to do exactly what we're seeing happen. that he was going to weaponize the justice system against all of the people who did him wrong. And he said, no, we're above that. I would never. Here we are.
They launched anti-weaponization. Now they've weaponized the DOJ just against the guys they don't like.
The next team won't do this though, because they're above all that. Right?
They're righteous and just, and they will never stoop to such levels of corruption and tyranny. Trump refiles $10 billion lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal. He's still all pissed off. They published that letter of him writing.
Didn't he just sue the IRS too? What is he doing?
He says they defamed him by publishing a alleged birthday letter he wrote in the woman's shape, and at the bottom private part put his signature. And he says it's all fake, and that's why he's suing the Wall Street Journal.
There's zero evidence to suggest he did that.
Dan Bongino, zero evidence. There's zero evidence. Bro, that's not how you make a zero, but okay, Dan Bongino, we trust you. You're a Fed. Yeah, so he's it got thrown out once, and now he's refiled and trying to sue him again over an article about a birthday book greeting to Epstein, and we showed it here before. I think we described it.
How does this work? Because, you know, I'm semi-familiar with that story, at least. It's to the point where it's like the news media goes with the story because they have sources. They have people who provide them with information that they're told is allegedly true. I mean, just if you take everything above board. So the news is supposed to work when you write an article. Like if I was going to write an article, you find the people, you interview them, you collect the information, you write the article. It's not like I'm the one saying that I created this into existence. You know what I mean? Like if you have an issue with anyone being defamatory or lying, it would probably be the source of the information, not the person who collated all that stuff and put it out there, right? Just saying, you know. Oh, in general, there should probably be some sort of constitutionally protections for people who do write. I mean, even if it is total false, fake garbage.
That's not in our Constitution, Ruckus.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
It's not
yeah,
there.
I don't know. So it's a thin line. I don't know how all that works. Gray area is the word I'm looking for.
There's more. Trump did get a win here. A federal judge in D.C. declines to block Trump's executive order on voting by mail. A federal judge has declined to temporarily block Trump's executive order that calls for restricting vote by mail. And you remember Trump did vote absentee there in Florida. So for him, but not for you. And so we like it that way. Our king can do whatever he wants because no one's above the law. And so we do like that. Trump.
Everybody should vote in person. I won't be voting in person, but you should.
Oh, man. I was looking for that image, and it's behind a paywall, and I don't really feel like it's even worth trying to find the image of Trump's alleged birthday card album to Epstein. And we showed it before. Whatever, dude. Have fun in that lawsuit.
Yeah, speaking of drawings from preschool and kindergarten, that's what it looked like, allegedly.
Yeah. Deutsche Bank terminates staff over Epstein ties. Showing says the CEO of Deutsche Bank has terminated staff that were in the Epstein files. At least Deutsche Bank acts. They don't care about your crime, corruption, or any of that, but publicly they at least fire somebody.
They only fired the ones that were not hidden behind the black bars, Sam.
Epstein received VIP treatment at Mount Sinai Hospital despite conviction. So after they already knew as a convicted sex offender, Mount Sinai rolled out the red carpet there for Epstein. I'm sure it had nothing to do with his millions of dollars in donations. So
He's a likable guy. He
strong
was the
ethical
life of the party.
strong ethical stance there by Mount Sinai Hospital. Let's watch. This is like a 15-minute report. I'll just play like a minute or something. 107,000 Epstein connections, Trump, Gates, and Global Power Network. New data reveals the staggering scale of Jeffrey Epstein's network, with over 107,000 documented interactions across 19,000 individuals. It's just a Democrat hoax, though, we're told by Trump, and I believe that. Let's watch this, a little bit of this report. And this is mainstream. This is on MSM. Who knew? They're getting way more conspiratorial at MSN. I'll tell you that.
Even after the latest files were released earlier this month, we still only have a tiny fraction of the complete picture surrounding the life and crimes of alleged financier Jeffrey Epstein. But even with these little breadcrumbs, you have probably noticed that there are some deeply troubling connections being put together about a deeply troubling number of high-profile people, which does raise the obvious question. How did Epstein win so many friends and influence so many people? He wasn't born into great wealth or influence, but from the information we have been allowed to see, his business success was largely handed to him by figures and organizations that regular people wouldn't even be considered by. Like some kind of unholy Forrest Gump, he was seemingly always around some of the biggest names and events of the last.
They're still trying to figure it out there at MSN. The week of the files coming out, I did 2 shows with William Ramsey. We broke it all down there in great detail. Everybody should go check those out. But I'm glad.
He's just an incredibly talented, gifted man. It's totally organic, Sam. He rose up to all of this, figured it out by himself, and became an incredibly, incredibly powerful person. There are no other people, places, things, organizations, or animals that start with the letter A behind his organization or his success.
I'm glad MSN is finally. They'll never get to the bottom of the rabbit hole. Plastic surgery.
No, I've told you I do not believe that for a second.
There's conspiracy theory videos out there now trying to say this. I don't believe it either.
He doesn't sound anything like him or nothing. No.
He said he even took a DNA test. He'll do whatever to prove he's not Epstein. So I think he's probably not Epstein. And who would want?
No, it's like if he becomes super popular and super duper like world famous, he's like, "What are you famous for? For not being Jeffrey Epstein." And everybody else will be like, "Wait a minute, I'm not Jeffrey Epstein either." Well, yeah, it was a one-time thing.
Here's his post on X. He's campaigning, so it's real. He says, after much thought, I am announcing that I am running to become mayor of Palm Beach in the upcoming 2028 election. More to come.
I hate to say it, but he probably asked ChatGPT, "Hey, ChatGPT, I happen to look like Jeffrey Epstein and I got famous. What should I do with it?" And it was probably a list of these suggestions. And he probably wasn't talented enough to be some sort of musical artist or an actor, but it probably like politics. Anyone can do politics. I mean, like seriously. Yeah, so yeah, have fun with that, Palm Beach Pete. He'll probably win too, because that's the other thing too about politics. At the end of the day, it's really not about anything that truly matters. It's all about the propaganda and the popularity.
It's a popularity contest.
Yeah,
just like junior high, just like high school.
What is he? Is he a liberal? Is he a demi? Is he one of those dirty commie liberals?
I don't even know what political party's running. If he even, let's see, there's a couple articles written up. Does it even say his
It'd be
political
nice if
party?
he was independent at least. I mean, but I mean, again, if he's chosen one of the two political parties, you know he's already lost because he's bought into that left-right paradigm crap.
We're gonna have to get him on the show and interview him about this.
Let's do it.
There's no yeah, I don't see in this article mentioned what
Got to
is,
know what your platform is, Palm Beach Pete.
it's I'm not Epstein. I guess that's good enough. Okay, moving on here, Ruckus, the last report before we take our commercial break. We already went past the hour. What do you make of this story now? Why do they have to all marry in the Epstein network? Because now Donald Trump Jr. and before that, Gavin Newsom's ex-wife, Kimberly Guilfoyle, was
There's a crossover going there, isn't there?
she was a underwear model for Victoria's Secret run by Les Wexner, who was a giant financial backer of Epstein. So why do these elite circles, which are really square, why do they all have to marry into the Epstein network? Because he was running with her for a while. I don't think they ever got married, but he was their boyfriend and girlfriend for a couple of years. Now she got kicked out. She's ambassador to Greece, I believe, but he got another. Now he's married this Bettina Anderson, who's the daughter of Epstein's personal banker.
Is that the same Trump son? Oh, it is, huh?
Don Jr.
Okay, all right.
Yes. You see the connection? So his first,
What?
he's with Gavin Newsom's ex-wife, Kimberly Guilfoyle, connected to Epstein via Victoria's Secret, Les Wexner. Now he married Bettina Anderson, daughter of Jeffrey Epstein's personal banker.
Well, yeah.
Of all the women in the world, Ruckus.
It's a small world, Sam. You know, networking, people, you know, when you're running these social circles, these types of things are bound to happen, you know. Listen, I will say at least a couple things about the Kimberly Guilfoyle thing. This does explain one thing. I always wondered, like, because she used to be on Fox News, and I was like, wow, she's kind of hubba to be a news person. Like, why would somebody like that pick this as a career? They'd be better off as a model. Like, oh, yeah, okay, I guess she was. All right, that makes sense. There's a lot of people in Fox News like that, those legs that they put up front with the pretty women.
You know why they brought her.
Stuff.
They brought her into Fox News is because she divorced Gavin Newsom. That's why.
Right, yeah, and that was a big thing,
and they
right?
want to scorn the woman on their bashing Democrats.
Yeah, but they didn't really. She didn't really bring that up or talk about it. But yeah, that was that's the thing, right? Yeah. So, but then
she's connected to Epstein, and so
but I didn't know that at the time. But I did find it very, very odd that for some strange reason she out of nowhere, and I think this was in Trump's first administration or after his, whatever. At some point, she left Fox News to specifically go work full time for the Sun's campaign or do something that was related to the campaign, and then I found out it was because she was boning the Sun allegedly, and I was like, oh well, that explains it. And I was like, oh, she's just trying to be some sort of, I thought she was trying to get herself attached to all of that for the wealth and the fame and gets no, what's going on? It seems like she's a useful tool by the more powerful network about, like, it's the other way around. Like, what are they using and moving this piece around doing all the time? You know what I mean? And by piece, I mean chess piece, not the other kind of piece. Calm down.
Of arse. She was a hot piece of arse before I think she got plastic surgery and got out and got messed up her face like many of these beautiful women do. They're beautiful and can't age gracefully and get this plastic surgery, but it seems like they're only allowed to be connected up with these potentially MK Ultra monarch sex slaves.
So what is that person in reality? Are they like the golden gifts that are given to Trump? These are things that are passed around in different places to rewards for good behavior or encouragements or to keep tabs on people. What is really going on? Why But why such a tight connection here going on, and why do they all look like that, right?
Indeed. All right, let's take our live commercial break here now. Thank you for sticking with us. We did more than an hour commercial free. Give us that like, share, subscribe, push that notification button. Give us the follow over on the X. I don't think it's even worth anything anymore, but you can message us over there. Go to weaponizednews.com/shop. We have the holograph sticker there. We have the white background sticker. And by the way, and the clear sticker, weaponizednews.com/shop. Get yourself some stickers over there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, baseball caps, all kind of gear. Weaponizednews.com/shop. Look at the description below the video for all the links. We take donations, buy me a coffee, Bitcoin wallet address, Cash App. Links are in the description below this video. Become a paid subscriber on Weaponized News Substack channel. You get the full show, a summary, and links to almost everything we talk about there on Weaponized News Substack. Any which way you choose to support us is truly appreciated. And by the way, for the patron that bought the stickers, they're in the mail. So look forward to your stickers and the rest of your order coming. I put them in the mail earlier today. Thank you very much for your patronage to the store and all of your support. Give us that like, share, subscribe, push that notification button. Go ahead and plug away, Ruckus.
Plug away. My computer and my lights are already plugged in. Oh, you mean this? Head on over to alternatecurrentradio.com if you're interested in checking out some of what I got going on there with my friends and colleagues. That's where you'll find the past episodes of me hanging out with Sam and other places under Roundabout Ruckus. Of course, we got our boiler room going on. You'll also find Sunday Wire there. We've also do music mixtapes. You can find that here. And we've also got a couple other shows, such as the Odd Man Out podcast and the Mystical American Patriot Society. A whole bunch of fun stuff for you to check out. Again, that's alternatecurrentradio.com. Send me a message on my X account, AC_wordslinger, if you need wordslinger things for your website, content, how to work AI into your workflow, whatever you might need. I do business and marketing consultations, website design, graphic design, et cetera, et cetera. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you for that commercial message. Right there's where to follow us and message us on the X if you're so inclined. Again, thank you to the patrons of the store, the donors to the broadcast, and the subscribers as we continue to try to grow here now. Something weird's going on, Ruckus. Welcome back to the second half of Weaponized News on this Thursday, May 28, 2026 edition. Something weird is going on here, Ruckus. They've taken a little bit of the boot of censorship off of me, and they've allowed me to have a video go viral on the Facebook, which is a new thing for me.
They just took that privilege away because you used the word viral.
Because I was banned, I was deleted. They literally deleted my account for warning about the dangers of public health policy during the bat times. But they allowed a video I posted, a reel, as it's called on the Facebook, to go over 100,000 views now. And so I don't know why, but that has happened.
Well, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right?
I just feel, well, we love you, Facebook.
Especially if the horse is sick, because it might be the next endemic, and we don't want that.
I forgive you for stealing my data, selling my data, profiling me, tracking me, and then deleting me. So
they're just giving everybody steak and lobster dinner before they send us out in the digital battlefield to die. They feel bad. They feel bad that they've been building this digital prison and building our digital twins, and they're about to rip the rug out from under us. So they're like, we might as well let them get some views before everything comes crashing down.
They feel guilty, subconscious about all the dopamine that they stole from me over the years here, and so they're giving some back.
How does it feel? I mean, that's pretty dangerous to get all that much dopamine in one hit, my friend. Be careful.
Part of me, when I'm trying to work, feels like it's all just distraction, and you're taking up my time because I got work to do. Trying to manage my social media account that's going viral is really what I thought. I was like, they're just trying to throw me off the case here. So So I can't keep reporting on all the tyranny by doing this.
They want you to get so busy with having to reply to comments on your social media feed that you have to you have to hire AI agents to do it for you. And now you're sucked into the system. Next thing you know, Sam's coming up here with his brain chip, pushing Coca-Cola.
I've been campaigning, Ruckus, so I don't get put on the...
Vote for J.D. Vance. Vote.
So I don't get put on the freaking FBI watch list. I'm advocating now brain chips at birth for the babies.
That's probably the safer bet, right?
Okay, let's go on to the economic section of the show. And we got a lot of news here. I'll try to get through as fast as I can for everybody. Turns out the $20 billion in tariffs have been refunded so far. But Trump liberated America. No, it turns out that due to the court ruling that they're unconstitutional, the Trump administration said that more than 4,000 importers who applied for refunds hadn't provided the bank information needed to process their refunds. They're slow playing it, dragging their feet. I believe it was like how much? Approximately $165 billion are set to be refunded to importers, taxed with Trump's Liberation Day tariffs. And of course, the consumer paid the ultimate cost, and they'll receive nothing. And so we do appreciate that screw job.
I think at some point we're going to see money printers go burr, some sort of stimulus happening. So maybe something like that, because they need an excuse to just print up a bunch of money and send it out to people. And of course, you're only going to get it if you're signed up and you pay your taxes like a good little boy and receive it digitally, possibly on the new blockchain Trump bucks or whatever they're going to call it, right? The CBDC that's not a CBDC.
Yeah, we got news about that. Reminder, though, about these tariffs. Aaron Day posted and reported on it at the time that Howard Lutnick, our Commerce Secretary, set the tariffs 4 times too high. And they knew this and bet that they would fail because they set them 4 times too high. Well, he swore they were permanent. His son's firm, Cantor Fitzgerald, was buying refunds at 20 cents on the dollar. The Supreme Court reversed the tariffs. $180 billion is now owed back to importers for unconstitutional tariffs. And he knew all this, that is Howard Lutnick, and gamed the whole thing and profiteered handsomely. We should be thankful that we're blessed to have Howard Lutnick as our Commerce Secretary, Ruckus.
He should start a YouTube channel and create like one of those online courses and teach other people how to do this. What do you think? Put it behind a paywall and you got to pay him like a monthly subscription to get access to his... Oh, never mind. That's not going to happen now, is it? Yeah, that guy, what a smart dude. These people just, they're just born smart. Sam.
Financial wizard.
They're just geniuses. Come on. Pure luck.
So Lutnick's allowed to run that giant scam on the entire world, but we got these dirty hijab wearing Somalis in Minnesota. We busted them, Ruckus. And so this is
fraud, because fraud is bad.
There you go. 2 Minnesota residents arrested for $21 million Medicaid fraud scheme. And wouldn't you know, they're these dirty Muslims. So there you go. Got them. If they wore a little hat, though, like Howard Lutnick, something tells me they wouldn't have any problems at all.
So wait, 21 million versus, what was the billion? 168 billion?
I don't even know what the profits they made, because they bet the tariffs would fail.
Oh, that's right. Never
right.
Mind.
And so I don't even know the billions.
And then when they do these things too, they use leverage. So then it gets even more mind boggling. And where it's like, well, their $1 really gets treated as though it was 10 or 100 or whatever. And then you do the math and you're like, what the F? Yeah, these people are making, when I say these people are making a lot of money, I mean, it's like an unfathomable amount of money. And
that's what I just say, $gazillion dollars, because we can't even, we lost track of the zeros here. All right.
Maybe we should just trust the plan. Maybe they're doing this. Maybe they're rigging and playing the system. This is how they're going to get us out of debt. Has anyone thought about that? I know that's insane and extremely unlikely, but could you imagine if they're like, yes, okay, guys, here it comes. We did it. It took us 90 days worth of a conflict with Iran or whatever, how many long in the administration of all the corruption, but we did it. We raised enough money to buy ourselves out of debt. We're scot-free. And then all you have to do now is like, we own you. We literally own you now. But hey, that's a fine trade-off, right?
It's the price to pay to live. That's what freedom costs. Freedom is not free.
And we're changing the country, by the way. The name is no longer the United States of America. It is now the United States of Trump.
Don't do this, but the Treasury Department today, they're pushing this a lot, is trying to get everybody to download Trump account app on their phone. They keep pushing this. Here's a message from a dude that says there's no regime change, but we've changed the regime. Treasury Secretary selling you the Trump account app. Let's see if he can convince us to download this tracker on our phone.
President Trump is putting the American dream within the reach of every citizen, no matter the circumstances of their birth. And today, with the launch of the Trump Accounts app, that dream is now available in the palm of your hand. Designed by the U.S. Treasury and the National Design Studio with infrastructure from both BNY and Robinhood, this groundbreaking new app will make it easy for millions of Americans to sign up, contribute, and watch their investments grow in value. Those who have already filled out IRS Form 4547 and registered for a Trump account will receive a notification the moment their account is ready to activate. For those who haven't yet filled out a Form 4547 and there's still time, I would encourage all parents to ensure their child.
Catch this, Ruckus.
The form.
100,000K will be added to Mason's account. I'm sure that's just the kid's name.
I would encourage all parents to ensure their child has a Trump account and is set on the path to financial success. Your account will go live on July 4th, which is fittingly the 250th anniversary of our great nation. This launch marks an important milestone toward expanding financial access and delivering parallel prosperity for Main Street, Wall Street, and all Americans.
They told you right there.
That's wild, man. There was another part of that too in the beginning that struck me and I forgot because you brought up the Mason thing and I'm like, whoa, wow, my mind is blown by that part. Play the first like 2 seconds again real quick.
All right. Hey, there's no regime change. We did change the regime though, according to Scott Bissett, Treasury Secretary.
President Trump is putting the American dream within the reach of every citizen, no matter the circumstances of their birth.
Yeah,
and today,
right
with the...
All right. What does that mean?
This little logo right here?
No, what he said.
Oh, yeah. According to they're saying if you're not born in America, sound like but yeah, the language there was, I hear you about let's try to hear that again, because it is weird, a weird phraseology he used.
American dream within the reach of every citizen, no matter the circumstances of their birth.
No matter the circumstances of their birth? What does that even mean?
Again, maybe he's just a speech impediment, but that doesn't make any sense. He's like, he's like Kamala Harris, except that just no one catches it because he doesn't look like Kamala Harris and he's not that annoying. There's something wrong with that guy. Who knows what he's talking about? I really have no idea. But that's the official announcement for this thing, and we're expected to understand what it is. So like, oh, well, whatever. It's Trump app accounts. Just put it on your phone. What are you, some crazy libtard from California or something?
Do I see your hair turning blue? Here, what? Here it is.
Trump accounts, I believe, are the most important benefit for young people since the GI Bill. Today, the app is now available on all major platforms, bringing the president's vision directly to American homes. Nearly 6 million American children have been signed up for Trump accounts, which will launch on July 4th. And I would encourage all of you to go to trumpaccount.gov to sign up. We had a historic tax filing season. We passed the largest tax cuts in American history. The average refund this filing season is nearly $3,300 and 11.
Stop it.
33.
Stop it. Stop it now.
Also, that was the other thing that I was like, there was something that really jumped out at me. The form. You have got to be kidding me. So they named this new tax form 4547. Because Trump was number 45 and now he's number 47, correct?
The filing season is nearly 33,300. Stop it. Stop it now. Damn, man.
It's a bit in your face.
They're throwing it in our face for those that have eyes to see that can make zeros like Dan Bongino that look like the Illuminati. Oh my gosh. This freaking guy, he says, he went on to say, I think this is going to be one of the greatest real-time financial literacy educations in history. I guess we should watch this and see what we could get. This guy's just glad he's in charge of the
that might not be a good thing. This could be like taken as a bad thing too, right?
I'm glad he's in charge of the United States Treasury.
38% of Americans have no exposure to equities. They don't share in the great innovation, the machine that is the American economy, our great capital markets, which drives our prosperity. So if your child is born during President Trump's administration, Treasury puts in $1,000 as a seed investment. We've also created 6 learning pods. So you can go online to the app that went up today and learn. And I think that this is going to be, I've been a big proponent of financial literacy, and I think this is going to be one of the greatest real-time financial literacy educations in history, because it won't be.
Thanks, Dad.
He's very uncomfortable. And by the way, they'll never tell you about the old that the Federal Reserve's a private bank, that how the monetary system actually functions. They won't tell you any of that. So they're not going to actually provide you financial literacy. They're going to tell you how to work inside this corrupt system is what they're going to tell you. And they're not even going to tell you that.
Well, maybe. You never know. I mean, because in order we gotta compete. Maybe they're being nice, but it's 100% true. And which is the more valuable information at this stage, technically, especially for your children, for the generations to come? Is it better to be financially illiterate and absolutely depressed, dismayed, and rebellious against your government, which is a corrupt system, or is it better to learn how to play inside of the corrupt system? And maybe if you're lucky enough and you're a good little boy and you're not anti-Semitic and all that fun stuff, then your ball on the roulette table lands on black, and you're good to go, I guess, right?
It's rigged. The system's rigged against us, I tell you, Ruckus. This is already mockery. I was offended when I saw this. I was like, they're throwing it in our face, and MAGA's going to cheer it on. It's wonderful. Trump appointees push $250 banknote with Trump's image on it. And this is real. What's his name had a copy of it. What's his name? Bissett had a copy of it at that. But here it is, the Washington Compost. And so here it is. And so this is how much our dollar's been devalued since Trump has went on these insane spending sprees there now. starting with Operation Warp Speed and now going just hog wild on Department of War and the federal government deficit. And so that's the new $100 bill is this Trump.
Are you sure? I thought it was the new 50.
Maybe even that. By the time they get the whole thing rolled out, yeah, it will be the new
20?
50. The new 20, maybe even possibly. By the time they get done with their money printing here now, the debasement of the currency.
I will say Donald Trump having his picture on United States currency, I did not see that coming. That is like definitely completely out of that. This is against. This is so unlike Trump to do something like this, Sam. So totally did not at all see this. This is the most narcissistic president, corrupt. Like, dude, I honestly thought this would have been one of the very first things he did when he was elected the second time around. I thought he was going to put his face on some money, and well, here we are. It just took a little while, and I know it's not officially done yet. Oh, it will be. Oh, it will be, baby. I tell you what, this is a done deal. I'm just shocked that they went with 250. Why didn't they do like $1,000 bill or something? Right?
It's 250, Ruggles, because they're coinciding with Merca 250 celebration.
I get it. They're clever.
But it's actually, I took it as a grave insult because in reality, that's the amount of inflation we've faced and devaluation of our currency under Trump's, all his schemes and his great mind for business is just putting us in the poorhouse.
I'll put it. Okay, listen. You're bicentennial like I am. We were born in bicentennial year, so
76.
Yeah, so they did the same thing where they issued a whole bunch of commemorative money, the bicentennial dollars and the quarters, and they did some other things. I think $50. Yeah, they're great. I collect those. They're fun. But even back then, you do the math. I'm not gonna, whatever. So pushing 50 here. So this sucks. But nowhere on that bill when they released that under the sitting president, it didn't have the sitting president's face on this new commemorative money. They still honored the original founding fathers and great presidents throughout history. And again, this T-Rex bag wants to, he's got to put his face on it, of course, because God, he's so good. Pride cometh before a fall, Don. It cometh before a fall, my friend.
I think they said in here the last time in this article out of the Washington Compost. Anyway, it was like mid 1800s was the last time they changed up the faces on the currency, something like this. Forget the exact. Anyway, well, he's showing great humility here now, Ruckus. Let me blast through these economics headlines. More workers are rating their 401ks as average balances fall, Fidelity says. So that's a sign of a strong golden age. Iran's war keeps Fed inflation gauge above targeted inflation. They say it only rose 0.7% in March. I'm saying quadruple that, brother. Here's a good one. For the doom and gloom mainstream Fortune magazine, but they seem to be calling it. Fortune magazine headline, interest on the national debt is eating at a record 19% of federal revenue. This is not sustainable by any measure. Even if they rig up all of the data as they already do, it's not sustainable. No matter how much rigging they do, at some point, it's just not going to work anymore. The wealthiest investors are pulling money out of the U.S. in de-dollarization trade. This is a report out of CNBC. They say fully 60% of family offices plan to make strategic changes to their investment allocations in the next year, about twice the level of the past 5 years, according to the UBS Global Family Office report. North America is the only region where family offices plans to reduce their allocation in the next 12 months, America's highly concentrated stock market and fears of an AI bubble, tariffs, and falling dollar, volatile economic policies, and rising debt and bond yields have caused many family offices to dial back their U.S. exposure. It's a golden age here, Ruckus. But more about Trump's humility. Trump administration is spending $5 million to coat horses' statues in gold. The Interior Department quickly gave nearly $100 million in contracts in a rush to beautify DC. And so they're going around with these bronze statues and putting that tacky Trump gold flake on it to the tune of $5 million. They're going to put that Trump gold on these bronze, 4 massive bronze horses positioned alongside the Lincoln Monument there in DC are going to get this treatment, Ruckus. So he's going to taint everything with his tacky gold flake paint.
Yeah, the Roman Empire, decadence, all that fun stuff.
Right,
again.
we're there. What is it? Let them eat cake, if that's even real. But the sediment is real.
The games are coming. We're gonna do the cage match on the White House lawn, right? Oh, the cage should be gold too, Sam, for the cage match. What do you think?
Might as well have all the fighters in gold paint.
There you go, dude. Yeah.
Some sad news for OpenAI is that Anthropic surpassed OpenAI as the world's most valuable AI startup with a valuation of $900 billion. According to a report out of the failing New York Times there. Yeah. Telling you, the White House intervened to get a $620 million deal for Vulcan Elements about 3 months before the Pentagon announced plans to lend money to Vulcan Elements. Don Jr., Trump, that is, venture capital firm, took an undisclosed stake in the company. This report out of ProPublica. But they're like Lutnick. They're just these whiz kid finance guys and know their stuff. Former senior CIA officer David Rush was arrested after FBI agents found 300 gold bars valued at an estimated $40 million and $2 million in cash and 35 Rolexes at his Virginia home. I don't know why they're going after CIA officers. That's like standard spy stuff, isn't it, Ruckus?
Those are barter items.
Yeah. That's like what you do. You got those items if you're in the spy game, I assume. But apparently he pissed somebody off because they busted him. And the CIA director Ratcliffe referred the case to the FBI after an internal investigation. So he pissed somebody off.
To the FBI, of all people, which is technically, legally speaking, the only crime-fighting organization on the federal level that should be, turned inward towards its citizens, unlike what the NSA and all of those fancy, crazy departments under the DHS do, including ICE. But anyway. Oh, yeah, sorry.
I know we're in a daze of tyranny here. Man.
They take your information through your VPNs too. Did you know that? Everyone thinks they're all like, "Oh, we're using the VPN," and I'm like, "No, they're dragnetting that too."
No, I saw a report that's a red flag. What are you doing?
Oh,
why are you on a VPN?
You must be trying to hide something.
We're going to look at you even harder. Yeah.
You couldn't possibly be like, say, a journalist or anything, right?
Or you couldn't be a paranoid American, could you? And just not act and actually value your privacy?
Oh, dude. We had the panicked Americans, and now we got the paranoid Americans. The Paracans. Don't be a Paracan. Trusted President Trump.
Never close your blinds. Never lock your door. You know what I mean? It's an equivalent to.
Hey,
Well,
that's how it used to be back in the day, bro. I mean, seriously, we could do that kind of stuff. I mean,
well,
unless you don't want to be putting a show on for your neighbors, if you know what I mean. But anyways,
back to the root of our problem here. The corrupt Federal Reserve allowed to print money at will and corrupt our entire society to the point where we're at a very low trust level due to all the corruption from all the fiat debt-based money they pumped into the system. And that, until we address that core issue, Ruckus, we're never fixing any of this stuff.
that's right, sir. Mix in a little drugs and financial insecurity, and you got yourself a whole shit ton of crime, which keeps the citizens in line with all the fear and the police brutality and all that fun stuff. Keep that prison industry going and all that, right?
It's a big party. It's a big party. You know, what's another big party is when you go to pay for gas at the pump. Let's take a look now. It did go down a little bit, so we're edging on the golden age. We're edging on the golden age. According to AAA, national average for the price of a gallon of gasoline is set down to $4.43. We'll round up on this one because we ended with a 6. Here it is. And yeah, $4.42 for a gallon of gas on average across America. And see, California is back to the Golden State. We're still above $6. They're killing us here. It did go down a little bit. Yesterday, you could see it was $4.46, and so it went down to $4. It went down about 3 cents. Let's just say there. So
Texas looks good.
let's take a look at Texas. Yeah, you guys are nearing $4. That's not good for Texas, honestly. $3.92.
Better than California, dude.
Yeah,
Let's go. Come on, you want to fight?
No, there's no doubt there. Now let's look at the Iran war cost burden on the American household and overall total consumer burden, as we do every day now as this war drags on in day 90. Out of Brown University, the Watson School of International and Public Affairs. So let's take a look at their tracker setting up. They've set up to inform us about the data here. We're up to $377.51 burden per household across gasoline and diesel. You can see there. And the total cost burden on the consumer since the start of the Iran war on February 28, 2026, you could see we're pushing 50. We'll be at 50 very soon here, but $49.5 billion, and we'll be at $50 billion before you know it, Ruckus.
Hooray! Awesome.
We're doing good, guys. We're doing good. Congress wants to delay the U.S. Navy's nuclear-powered Trump-class battleship until its key weapons, including railguns and powerful laser systems, are proven. Lawmakers added that the restriction to the draft 2027 defense bill says construction cannot begin until the Navy certifies the technology is mature enough. That was a report out of TWZ. My question is, they care more about the weapons working than the weapons working. If you think back to the miracle time, just saying.
Trump class battleship, eh? Nice.
With railguns and lasers, they want to make sure they're
lasers. They gotta have lasers.
That's what they say.
That's right.
Here's the
Directed
image.
energy weapons, discombobulators, and all the bells and the whistles.
The Golden Fleet, I believe Trump has deemed it. So we got plenty of
looks fake to me.
plenty of money for war. Former MI6 chief Richard Moore said, over the last 3 years, we have seen played out on the battlefield in Ukraine just how dominant drones are. He says, I think it's something like 80 to 90% of battlefield casualties are now caused by drones.
Wow.
So, and that was a interview he did with Wall Street Journal. Yeah, that's horrific. And so Russia's sending their troops into the meat. Both sides are, but Russia especially, because they're whacking a lot of Russians right now with drones out through Ukraine through via U.S. proxy war. And so it's horrific. It's quite horrific, Ruckus. Okay, continuing here quickly. Hungary says they're not going to supply Ukraine with any more military equipment. Their prime minister said that, Magyar. And so, but I did see also today, and I didn't even have that story up. Who was it? Sweden, I believe, is giving like one of their fighter jets to Ukraine, or a few of them, and weapons, because they are all in against that dirty Putin. Okay, what do we make of these T-Rex columns, Ruckus? Giant Mosasaurus species from Texas named T-Rex. And then we have another T-Rex column from the Department of War, but this one first. This is out of the American Museum of Natural History. What do we make of this? Are dinosaurs real, Ruckus? I don't know if I ever asked you that on the show. What do you think? Are dinosaurs real?
What do you mean? Are they real? Like still around? Real, or were they real? Is what that lady's looking at? Is that used to be a living creature a million, billion, cajillion years ago? Or was it a living creature maybe not even that long ago, but maybe it was? Maybe it's a bunch of other large creatures that just kind of got mixed up together and they don't know how to put the bones together right. I don't know, Sam. I do believe that as a Bible believing guy, I believe in the flood. I believe that the world was a very different place, physically, scientifically, ecologically speaking, before the flood. There's lots of evidence to suggest that plants, animals, and perhaps even human beings were of a slightly larger size. So what's wrong with the idea of dinosaurs being real? My problem is the official story of the dinosaurs existing so effing long ago, this and that, and then that's where oil comes from, and all that kind of, all those things, all the mainstream science associated with dinosaurs, I do not believe. But I do believe that yes, you can dig around in your backyard. Maybe you're going to run into bones that might look like they're too big to be normal sized creatures, and you might want to call that something. So why not call it a dinosaur, right?
That's what I was getting to about the official story, and you explained it. So there's our dinosaur columns, the Mosasaur species from Texas named T-Rex.
And besides, those ones they're long gone and extinct. There are other species that we need to be far more worried about walking among us, as they say, Sam. Right?
Now, Department of War T-Rex.
Speaking of
technology readiness experiment T-Rex 26-2 has concluded. Let's watch the video about rapid assessment of prototype technology. Everything's warp speeded now, they tell us at the Department of War. America, hell yeah.
Was that a new video game or something?
No, that's the Department of War's 60 innovative technologies that they evaluated during T-Rex 26-2.
Of course it was. Wow. Yeah. No, that's too much testosterone for this guy right here. It was like something off of that FX television show series network, right? Like, "Ooh-ah, boom, power, bam, explosions, hoorah." Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Dude, these are what do they use these things for out in the real world? What's their use? What's their application? Oh, that's right. They're used to kill people and send body parts flying in various directions, including children and babies too. I can't get that excited about this crap. This is disturbing, frightening. How do you defend against that? They showed a lot of defensive capabilities with their little nets and their shotguns, and see the one where it was like you couldn't see the laser, but it was obviously like a directed energy beam of some sort that set one on fire and took it out. Drones with the nets flying up and taking out the other drone with the net, and I'm like, dude, this is freaking ridiculous. This is crazy. This is not fighting. This is not warfare. This is something else entirely. And again, those things are probably going to be used against us, or the threat of these things. I mean, do you even need these things, or how many of these do you need? Are you going to be like, yeah, remember that one that we just saw there that can just like skin a human being from 50 yards away?
They just zap you. They just zap you.
We got 100 of those waiting for you if you cross this line. Are you going to cross that line? No, I'm not going to cross that line, dude. No way. I'm good.
What do you make of this, Ruckus? This was they posted this yesterday. Department of War CTO. They say Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has approved the second round of appointments to the recently established Science, Technology, and Innovation Board, STIB, bringing the newly unified advisory board to a total of 33 members.
Of course.
And here's the meme.
I wouldn't want it any other way, personally.
Here's the meme they posted along with that, pointing at the Pentagon, Ruckus. Dude.
I do like those ChatGPT images coming out of their new model. Not going to lie.
Dude. We love this. We hate freaking Ted Kaczynski, all right? And we love this kind of stuff. No, really, seriously, though, now here, Ruckus, we are behind in the hypersonic missile race. Now, allegedly, Russia has shot off 3 of these Orezhnik hypersonic missiles, and they're unstoppable and highly lethal. And America over here, where we're yelling, hell yeah, all day, we don't even have this capability.
We got drones, bro.
Russia has hypersonic missiles that they're
the
hitting. Their
missile might be able to take out those little drones, I'm thinking.
Jeez, and they're hitting their targets pretty accurately by according to the reports. We're way behind. We're recruiting now here in America. Go help them make our hypersonic missiles, because we're way behind in the hypersonic missile race. I guess here's the call from the Department of War right here. Requests for solutions, scaled hypersonics. They're looking for help at the Department of War. We're doing our patriotic duty here because we don't even have hypersonics, and Russia's zapping Ukraine with them 3 times, allegedly, reportedly.
But we got Grok. I thought Grok was like the world's smartest AI, and it can solve any problem and invent anything. And AI, why can't AI help us build hypersonic missiles? I'm confused.
I don't know. There is one company, they're probably using AI that the defense or the War Department, I still in the back of my head want to say Defense Department, the War Department. One company here, Castile Hypersonic is the company they've been highlighting. They're giving the contract to. They're out of El Segundo, California, And wouldn't you know that they were founded by a former member of SpaceX. So SpaceX it is the military industrial complex. If you did not already know that, they just signed a big contract with the Pentagon like yesterday or something like this. Anyhow, here's their website. And so these are the guys, Castilian, developing America's hypersonic missile. Why we don't have it already is beyond me, or at least they're publicly not admitting that we have it. Russia's publicly admitted and said, we'll zap you. Don't stop effing with us, right? After Ukraine, NATO, America hit that, blew up that school in Russia. They got all pissed off, right? Last week. And anyhow, here's their site. Let me, I like how it loads at the very beginning, so I'll reload it because it's shooting off hypersonic. Can they do any of this, Ruckus? How much of this is show? How much of this is real? What do you think?
There was a guy in a space-looking suit, so it's got to be real.
Hey, if he had a white lab coat on, I'd be convinced. These guys are calling for help too. They're like, we need help. I forget where. Affordable hypersonic weapons built fast for protecting our democracy.
I do like that old school parallax effect they got going on there with their muscles as you're scrolling down the website. That's kind of cool.
See, they're winning you over, right?
Yeah, it's a nice website, but I don't know.
They did the retro look here on the video.
Yeah, that's
See,
true.
America needs you. They have open positions they're hiring there to make hypersonic missiles. So there you go. We're doing our patriotic duty, letting everybody know.
Their brand color there, that blue, does exude professional trustworthiness. So I trust them.
You'll like some more of their graphic design, Ruckus. There you go.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
So how long these guys have been around for a while, and they happen to be working on hypersonic missile technology? How fortuitous for them that the government all of a sudden decides out of nowhere, hey, you know what? We could use somebody who makes hypersonic. They're like, ooh, pick me, right? Lucky them. It's a lot. They come from a long line of hypersonic missile builders. Their family. It's a family business.
I'm not going to play this video due to time because we still have a lot more, but here is Hegseth in a cartoon video trying to lobby for the $1.5 trillion Department of War budget. Let's play a little of it. We can't play the whole thing, but it's just so ridiculous.
No audio.
No audio? Oh, I had the audio. Anyway, you guys get the point. You saw it. He was just saying how great American military is. It is, but why is he in a cartoon? Like that's from, he posted that. That's not a parody. That's posted by the Secretary of War.
He did another one like that. He's probably been making multiple ones like this where it's like, it's almost like he's got the green screen thing going on behind him like I do, except there's something off about it, almost like it's not really a green screen. He filmed it wherever he was, and then they used AI. Yeah, it might not even be him. It could be an AI avatar of him. Google just demonstrated some wicked awesome capabilities of doing those types of things. And you know that the military and the government has access to better AI models than what's available to the public. So if you watch the demos and what's available for you right now to make your own avatar and put yourself inside of a movie that makes it look like you and act like you and talk like you, it's pretty convincing enough already now what they've given to the public. Imagine what they've got. So maybe it's AI Hegseth, but there's just, the background thing, there's something off about it. But yeah, why are they doing these cheesy... It's because the AI is writing the script for them too, by the way. Mm-hmm.
It appears so here, Ruckus. There was
we don't even get the good propaganda. We're now getting AI slop. It's slopaganda. Slopaganda. There you go.
AI slop. U.S. Southern Command said they whacked another narco-terrorist here, 2 actually, part of Operation Southern Sphere. And so here's a short clip of them whacking these narco drug traffickers. It's extrajudicial assassinations or murder. I thought we believed something called due process in this country, Ruckus. No. Here's the whacking of the narco drug traffickers. Allegedly, they're bad guys. We don't know because they're all whacked, and all the evidence proving they were bad guys is all whacked.
And allegedly, that is not the exact same video they keep showing every time.
Just a different angle, very possibly. So I was like, keep reporting.
How would you know? I mean,
yeah.
Come on.
How do we know any of this? According to the government, the military, they're the official authority here now, right? It looks like, well, they're in a secret war, not really secret, but very not talked about much in Mexico, Central and South America, Ruckus. Just go to U.S. Southern Command page, and they're constantly running exercises talking about busting cartels. This one, we recommend Ecuador. We commend Ecuador's decisive action against cartels and narco-terrorists in their country. They're running joint operations against cartels in these countries, allegedly, to fight drugs. Guatemala agreed to allow a joint U.S. military strike on drug trafficking groups inside its border. Report out of the New York Times. It's the second such agreement under Trump after Ecuador, with Honduras reportedly next. Guatemala agrees to sign U.S. military strike inside its territory. Cuba, are we going? Well, they keep saying Cuba's next. So,
oh yeah,
Cuba's that's very publicized, right? Cuba's next. Those other ones, not so much. But then you get to this one. This one, how a DEA sting sparked a Colombian insurgency, and so now we're fighting the narco-terrorists. But in this story, it was Jose Olivares out of published on Drop Site. He talks about, well, let me read you. It explains it right here. When the Trump administration launched its bombing operation in January to abduct former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, it accused him in an indictment of dealing drugs with the intent to enrich 7 U.S. designated terrorist organizations, including Mexico's Sinaloa cartel and Colombian left-wing National Liberation Army, and a little-known insurgent group called Segunda Martaquilla. And turns out that group is a band of Colombian militants based along the Venezuelan border. And the backstory is they were set up by the DEA founded in 2019 by former leader of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, FARC. And so they were, they basically been U.S., proxy militia. And we said we were bad, or Maduro's bad for dealing drugs with these guys, with a proxy U.S. Militia there in South America. Imagine that.
Imagine that. You don't have to imagine. It's happening. Right? I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get through. We're already past the 2-hour mark. We still got the Lebanon to cover. Quickly, there's videos of Netanyahu out. I guess he's still alive. He was the rumors of his demise. It could all be AI. I don't know. He says
this time he's got 7 fingers. He's getting better.
I think he's alive. He says they're going after. He says they have 60% of Gaza Strip. They're going after 70. Yeah, they're taking it all. He's out there bragging again, as he has been the last couple months, that Aardvark land's a global superpower. He says, and then this story.
Just like it was promised to them in their books many centuries ago, right? You're going to rule the whole world.
They're fulfilling that prophecy. Aardvark land's all pissed off at the UN because the UN has called them out for their sex assaults. And so now the conflict-related sex violence, they were put on that blacklist by the UN. And so now they've frozen ties with the UN head Gutierrez. So
their feelings are hurt.
They're all mad they got on the sex abuse list, and they were lobbying since October 7th to put Hamas on the sex abuse list. They're at the UN. Some sad news here now. We had reported and said it was a good thing that sanctions were removed from Francesca Albanese, but turns out they've put the sanctions back on her now. White House reimposes sanctions on Francesca Albanese for documenting war crimes. And so that's the U.S. has reimposed broad economic sanctions on UN Special Rapporteur for Palestine, Francesca Albanese, according to a notice published by the Treasury Department today. And so they put sanctions.
The Treasury Department, who's the head of that one again?
That dude we've been highlighting that was out there saying it's a regime change, but it's still the same regime. That dude.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that dude.
His wife must be so proud. Oh wait, he doesn't have a wife, does he? Oh, his husband must be so proud of him. Then there you go.
Pride Month's coming up, Ruckus.
It is. Don't forget to get your Pride Month weaponized news
stickers.
Don't forget
to get your Pride Month weaponized news stickers. See if it's a holograph, but you see.
No, you should just totally do one. Just do a rainbow one. Screw it.
Hey, I'm libertarian about it as long as it doesn't make you be super weird. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's bad news. They put sanctions back on her and everybody should go look at her reports because she does one on the countries involved and one on the corporations involved. And you look at both those together and you're like, yeah, slam dunk. This is pure evil. And spin all your propaganda about it. It don't matter because she documented it all very journalistically. It's like so many citations of footnotes in her reports that it's irrefutable fact, and that's why they got so pissed off and are still pissed off, and she'll probably they're going to be after her now for the rest of her life, I would assume, here now with destroying her economic life here now, putting her under.
Can she renounce her citizenship? She's Italian, right? I think, or she's Spanish. She's Italian.
She's locked out. She's locked out of U.S. banking. So, and all that
she should just Yeah, she should figure out what all those illegal aliens do to come over here illegally. Then she could probably somehow officially become a U.S. citizen, regardless of the circumstances of her birth. And then she could invest $1,000 into a Trump account, and she's got it made. Problem solved.
You have a future at the U.S. Treasury Department, Ruckus.
I'm thinking of applying.
Oh, sad what they're putting that lady through just for doing her job. Actually, and all these institutions are like, oh, we hate all these institutions. But she was actually working at one of these institutions that does a lot of the UN, right? But she actually did her job and reported what she was supposed to do. And they're like, nope, that's not allowed. So even if they won't even let you do your job for the people who these institutions allegedly serve, she's like, okay, I'm doing my job for the people. Here it is. These are the facts, man. No, now your economic life's destroyed now because of this.
That's where she went wrong. She was doing it for the people. She's supposed to do these for self-serving interests, and because money and other influence has steered you in those directions. You're completely way off base, lady. She's crazy. Wacko.
She blew it there. So Aardvarkland's training up militia groups now in Somaliland. It's being reported to fight the Yemeni Houthis. So look for that. Another one of these militia brigades is being created. So, man, they need to just have peace, bro.
How long before now they become the enemy? 20 years down the road, right?
Same. They keep it churning, man. The terrorist treadmill keeps on churning. And there's just, due to the interest of time, I won't show it, but there's a report after report after report, a video. I guess we'll show a couple. The destruction there, bombing Lebanon. Here's a city of Sour, Tyre, southern Lebanon. You can see it's a highly populated residential area, and they level the place. Take a look at this.
صباح الخير.
Lebanon now. There's picture after picture. Oh, this is a good one. So you get this one, you get a sense about. This is like there's a bunch of civilians there. It's a war crime. But you know, Ruckus, they just say Hezbollah was hiding underneath there, and that's could be true, but a bunch of civilians are dying there. Lebanon's Ministry of Health says 16 people have been killed and 58 wounded across southern Lebanon yesterday. More reports.
And again, why?
Because Hezbollah.
Because Hezbollah. Do they at least say that? Does Israel come out? Sorry. Do they come out and say, oh, yeah, we did this thing and we just hit this apartment complex and here's why we did it? Do they say anything?
I think they do probably issue official statements somewhere.
And
maybe.
What do they say? They're like, yes, we precisely targeted a Hezbollah outpost command center.
Yeah, that's what they always say. Something to that effect, yeah.
Wild. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's a justification that they give, but a bunch of civilians wind up getting whacked too.
I'm seeing very little to zero. I haven't seen this in a while in a lot of these conflicts, but usually you see like soldiers getting hit. You see tanks, military equipment, bases, things like that, right? No, we're just like We just bomb schools and hospitals and missile apartment complexes. I mean, just like what the f, dude?
They're
We've completely
systematically
we've lost it. You know, the
they're
entire world has lost it.
systematically massacring the entire public health infrastructure in Lebanon right now, from paramedics to nurses to doctors to hospitals to ambulances to freaking stretchers. If you have a Band-Aid, they'll probably whack you.
Well, crap! I do have some first aid supplies close by,
Hey,
man. I should probably distance myself here. Look out! He's got some bandage wrap. Everybody, is that ointment, sir? Is that antibiotic ointment? Put
Terrorism.
the antibiotic ointment down.
You could be aiding terrorists.
But this is not central. This is not limited to just Lebanon. It used to be just this is what they were doing with inside the whole Gaza thing, and then they've expanded they went from, it's like this one thing was good, this one's kind of greater, right? This little project of theirs, is that what's going on? They're just expanding their land.
They're bloodthirsty.
Well, I mean, that's what it looks like, but I mean, there has to be some sort of justifiable excuse. What do they say? What do the people who live there say? Like, hey, why are we doing this? They say, oh, well, it's because we're a bunch of murderous, bloodthirsty bastards, don't you know? And they're like, yeah, that's right, that's us.
It's their divine right, they say.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Here's Al-Shati refugee camp west of Gaza City, and so they still are continuing the genocide against the Palestinians. Some of these people are in tents and they're bombing them. They're living in refugee camps in tents because their house got blown up. Here's video of the bombed out tents, Ruckus. And they say terrorists are hiding in these tents.
يلا يا حازم قدم حازم
ثواني بس اخوي داخل الكادر هذا بس
الناس
That's wild, right? Bombing tents.
A little bit of an overkill, but you know.
They're stacking bodies heavy in Gaza again. 11 dead Palestinians of these 16 other, 16 killed, 39 injured yesterday, and still stacking bodies there. Ben Gvir blocks state inspector from entering notorious torture centers. Shocking, I know.
Yeah, I got a really bad feeling about something related to how they just recently passed that new law that says that if the Palestinian prisoners are accused of being a terrorist, they get the noose, right? Well,
Ben Gvir showed off the gallows on video, and he had it on his 50th birthday cake. So yeah,
I got a really bad feeling that they've been using them a lot. I think we're going to hear some bad news coming out, probably, if we get to hear the news. But I don't think they're waiting and that they're going to make a big deal about it and be like, aha, we just got one and here we did the thing. I think they're probably going to do a bunch of them all at once. Very similar to another nasty event in history that we're reminded of frequently by same kind of people, which is interesting. Yeah.
Ben Gvir has been preventing state inspectors from entering state prisons by delaying approval of their official authorization for more than 6 months. Yeah, so nobody knows what's going on inside there because no other
hiding something.
And then finally, last story here, Ruckus, Aardvark Land Settlement Council admits systemic ritual sex abuse of children following bombshell media investigation.
That's enough internet for me.
I'm telling you, man. They talk about the Gush Zion Regional Council in the occupied West Bank has issued an unprecedented public admission acknowledging severe multi-participant ritualistic sex abuse within the settler community, which involved the gang rape of children. The official statement marks a dramatic reversal for the settlement's leadership, which had spent years systematically denying and dismissing allegations of sadistic abuse.
I don't care who you are. There's no way you can justify that. Nope.
They're finally acknowledging it, at least. Insane. They're described as pure evil and a moral distortion. Yeah, I guess that's how you could put it. All right, Ruckus, let's take a look at the headlines. Did they blow up the world over there while we're on live here? VP Vice President says Iran wants a deal as nuclear talks continue. Rubio to meet Pakistan Foreign Minister. Iran reopen the Strait and other concessions on the table. About the same where we're at. About the same where we're at. All right, let's go to comments. And again, you know what's up with the Odysee, but you got to click a bunch and it looks like it's not working, but you got to like refresh 2-3 times. And then I can access to see if there's anybody in the comments. Okay, I made it there. There's a few people over there. Shout out to Crema, Fat Bob, Deep, Huffman. Thank you guys for tuning in there, chatting it up. Let's see. Hoffman said that in India they have the hypersonic AGNIV-1 ICBM. Have they never used it? Have they? I don't think they ever used it. They claim they have it, but they never successfully used it. And
didn't they just recently jump on board with a space program?
That
was them, right?
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in on the Odysee, the X Kick Substack. I got to get that in my head on my pronouncements. And Bitchute. Is there any comments over there? Shout out to YouTube and Rumble chats. We had Rock. I'm gotta get my scroll straight. Quite a few comments. I can't keep up with them all. Thank you guys for tuning in and commenting it up. Vince, what does he say? You libtards stay right there in California. He's talking about Obama. Why do they come in there? Is that to like flag the video and start cussing? I think so. It says Obama is a piece of S. Really, dude? You see us supporting Obama on the show? Like, seriously? Man. I think they just come in there to try to blow up the chat. It's ridiculous. Dinosaurs are faking gay. Well, at least the official story, I'm saying.
Oh, Snow Himbo in the chat's got a theory about the dinosaurs. They're dragons. There you go.
I've heard that before. The mud flood theory. Shout out to Mac. Need proof from the fake news, Lovely says. Shout out to Karen, Chloe. Chloe's always trolling me. When they say they blew up something, the Blue Origin rocket blew up. Did it? Did it blow up?
Not that I'm aware of.
When? When did it blow up?
I don't know. But we have it on good authority that 4 out of 5 hookers prefer Trump bucks. All right. I think that was Mac.
You got any final thoughts here before we sign off, Ruckus?
No. Thanks again for having me. I'm pretty sure we're doing a boiler room tomorrow night over at Alternate Current Radio, so check it out. It's usually right after Weaponized News. If we don't do that tomorrow night, we'll probably do one Saturday night. And then, of course, check me out over there on Sunday for the Sunday Wire with Patrick Henningsen. And then hopefully right back here sometime next week. Sam, thanks again for having me. Shout out to everyone in the chat, too. I know you guys love having me come on, so that warms my heart whenever I see people like, oh, where's Ruckus when I don't show up, and everybody get excited when I do show up. So I do see that, and I appreciate it, so thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on, Ruckus. As always, everybody, do your own research. Peace, love, and freedom. Speak out and take action. Have a great rest of your Thursday evening, and we'll be back here on Friday for more Weaponized News.